If you have a 2023 D Bessie Coleman American Women quarter in your pocket, do not spend it too quickly. One small detail on this modern quarter could make it far more interesting to collectors than a normal 25-cent coin. Some collectors search for high-grade examples, unusual mint errors, and rare varieties that can sell for much more than face value. But there is an important fact to understand before we talk about huge numbers. A normal 2023 D Bessie Coleman quarter is not an $800 coin. Most ordinary examples are worth close to face value, while high-grade coins and genuine major errors can bring much higher prices. So, if you have one, keep watching because the real mystery is finding out exactly what kind of 2023 D Bessie Coleman quarter you have. The 2023 Bessie Coleman quarter is part of the American Women Quarters program from the United States Mint. This program began in 2022 and continues through 2025, with 5 new quarters each year honoring important American women. The Bessie Coleman design was one of the 2023 releases. The Mint says Bessie Coleman was a pilot, advocate, and pioneer. She became the first African American and first Native American woman pilot and the first African American to earn an international pilot's license. Her life was unusual, brave, and important, which is one reason this quarter has attracted attention from collectors. The coin was made by the United States Mint at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Denver issue carries the small d mint mark, and that is the coin we are focusing on today. The quarter has the normal Washington portrait on the obverse, while the reverse shows Bessie Coleman preparing for flight. The Mint describes the reverse as showing Coleman as she suits up in preparation for a flight. The coin has the standard quarter size of about 24.26 millimeters and a reeded edge. So what makes the 2023 D Bessie Coleman quarter interesting? The answer is not simply the date or the D mint mark. Millions of modern quarters can be made, and a common coin does not suddenly become rare just because it has a famous person on the design. The real collector interest comes from condition, strike quality, unusual varieties, and especially genuine mint errors. This is where the $800 claim needs to be handled carefully. You may see internet listings claiming that a 2023 D Bessie Coleman quarter is worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. A seller can ask almost any price online, but an asking price is not the same thing as an actual sale. Current sales data for ordinary 2023 D examples is much lower. For example, recorded sales include a 2023 D MS64 example at $7.50 and several MS67 examples selling for single-digit to low double-digit amounts. More recently, some MS68 examples have sold around $17 to $33. That does not mean you should ignore your coin. It means you need to know what you are looking for. A normal circulated 2023 D Bessie Coleman quarter is generally a face value coin. A nice uncirculated example may bring a premium, and a very high-grade certified example can bring considerably more. But the really dramatic values are normally connected to unusual errors, exceptional condition, or a variety that is genuinely scarce. Now let's look at the mystery surrounding these coins. One reason modern coins can become collectible is that minting involves many complicated steps. Blank planchets are prepared, dies are made, coins are struck under tremendous pressure, and thousands of pieces can move through high-speed equipment. When something goes wrong, a coin can leave the mint with a noticeable error. One important error collectors watch for is a double die. A true double die is created during the die-making process and can show genuine doubling on parts of the design. This is different from machine doubling, which can look similar but usually has a different appearance and is generally much less valuable. If you see doubling on the date, lettering, design elements, or other important details, do not immediately assume it is a rare double die. Magnification and comparison with known varieties are important. Another error to watch for is a die crack. As a die is used again and again, it can develop cracks. A small die crack may create a raised line on the finished coin. Larger breaks can become more dramatic. A major die break, sometimes called a cud when it involves the edge of the die, can attract collectors because it is clearly different from a normal strike. A is another possible mint error. A quarter normally receives support from a collar during striking. If the collar does not work correctly, the coin can spread outward during the strike. A genuine may appear wider than normal and may have unusual edge characteristics. The important thing is that the shape must be consistent with a real mint error rather than damage that happened after the coin left the mint. A struck-through error can also be interesting. This happens when foreign material comes between the die and the coin during striking. The result may be a missing or distorted part of the design. The appearance can vary depending on what material caused the problem. Again, the key is proving that the unusual feature happened at the mint. There can also be off-center strikes. If a blank planchet is not positioned correctly when the dies strike, part of the design can be pushed toward one side, leaving an area of blank surface on another side. A small amount of off-center striking may have limited value, while dramatic and clearly genuine examples can attract much more collector interest. Now let's talk about how to identify your 2023 D Bessie Coleman quarter. Start with the date. You should see 2023 on the obverse. Next, look for the D Mint mark. The Denver Mint mark tells you that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. The United States Mint confirms that Denver coins carry the D Mint mark, while Philadelphia uses P and San Francisco uses S. Next, check the reverse carefully. Look at Bessie Coleman, the aircraft, the lettering, and the smaller design details. Use a good magnifying glass or a phone camera with strong zoom. You are looking for something that appears raised or missing because of the striking process, not something that looks scratched, scraped, or cut. Then inspect the edge. The normal quarter has a reeded edge. Look for unusual flattening, missing reeds, an abnormal shape, or evidence that the coin was struck outside its normal collar. Be careful, however, because damage from machines, parking lots, tools, or other coins can create strange-looking edges that are not valuable mint errors. Condition is also extremely important. A coin that has spent years in circulation may have scratches, dirt, contact marks, and wear. A fresh coin with sharp details, strong luster, and very few marks can be worth more to collectors. Professional grading companies can authenticate and grade coins, and a high numerical grade can sometimes make a major difference in value. The difference between an ordinary coin and a valuable coin can therefore be enormous. Imagine finding a quarter that looks perfect, only to discover that it has a major mint error. That is where the excitement begins. A normal coin might be worth around 25 cents, while a desirable error could potentially sell for tens, hundreds, or in exceptional cases more. But millions of dollars should never be presented as the normal value of this coin. $1 million price would require an extraordinary and independently verified rarity, not simply a 2023 D date and D Mint mark. Auction records give us a better idea of the real market. Current sales data for the 2023 D Bessie Coleman quarter shows ordinary examples selling for low amounts, while some certified high-grade pieces have brought more. One recorded 2023 D MS66 first day of issue example sold for $31.95 in March 2026. Several MS68 examples have also sold in the roughly $17 to $33 range during 2026. There is also an important lesson from the other Bessie Coleman issues. A 2023 S Bessie Coleman quarter certified MS68 sold for $205.49 in an eBay auction recorded by PCGS. This shows that exceptional grade and the specific mint issue can make a major difference, but it should not be confused with the value of a normal 2023 D coin. The 2023 D coin is therefore interesting because it is a modern collectible with many possible condition levels and potential errors. The mint sold uncirculated Denver Bessie Coleman quarters in bags and rolls, and the Denver coins were officially part of the American Women Quarters release. If you find one, do not clean it. This is extremely important. Cleaning can leave scratches or unnatural surfaces and can reduce collector appeal. Do not polish it, do not rub it with chemicals, and do not try to make the coin look shiny. Hold it by the edges and keep it in a safe holder if you believe it may be valuable. Now comes the question many viewers are waiting for: could your 2023 D Bessie Coleman quarter really be worth $800? It is possible for a modern coin with a dramatic, authenticated error to be worth far more than face value, but an $800 value should not be assigned to every 2023 D Bessie Coleman quarter. To reach that kind of price, you would want something special, such as a major and verified mint error, a rare recognized variety, or an exceptionally high-grade example with strong collector demand. And what about thousands or even millions? Those numbers make exciting headlines, but they should be treated as extreme possibilities rather than normal values. A coin does not become $1 million treasure just because someone places $1 million price tag on an online listing. Real auction results, professional authentication, population reports, and collector demand are much more important. The biggest lesson is simple: check the coin before spending it. Look at the 2023 date. Find the D mint mark. Study both sides under magnification. Examine the lettering, Bessie Coleman, the airplane, the rim, and the edge. Look for genuine doubling, major die cracks, off-center striking, broad strikes, struck through areas, missing design elements, or other unusual features. The story behind this quarter makes it even more interesting. Bessie Coleman broke barriers in aviation at a time when opportunities were extremely limited for women and minorities. The United States Mint chose her for the American Women Quarters program because of her pioneering achievements and the inspiration her life continues to provide. So the next time you receive a 2023 D quarter in your change, take a second look. It may be nothing more than 25 cents, or it could be an unusually sharp collector coin. And if you discover a genuine mint error, that is when the value can change dramatically. Remember, the real treasure is not the date alone. It is the combination of rarity, condition, authentication, and collector demand. A normal 2023 D Bessie Coleman quarter is not automatically an $800 coin, but a truly unusual example can be much more interesting. That is why collectors keep searching through rolls, bags, jars, drawers, and old collections. Before you put your next quarter into a vending machine or spend it at a store, turn it over and look closely. Check the date. Check the D, check the details. Check the edge. That little inspection could reveal a coin that deserves to be saved rather than spent.